You're most welcome to OGTV News with me, Mojisola Shulaja. Our top stories. Ogun State government distributes 22 tricycle ambulances to primary health centers across the state. Nigeria Police, other agencies in joint search and rescue operations in Zamfara. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo advises Central Bank of Nigeria over ban on cryptocurrencies. America's President Joe Biden in first conversation with Saudi Arabia's king. Peace, it is at our fingertips if you allow it to be.
Ted AC Blantyre headlines, Europa last 16 appearance. I'll be back to keep you abreast of more happenings from the world of sports. My name is Moses or Jewumi. Stay with us.
We'll begin with health. The administration in Ogun State has thrown its weight behind the management board of Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital to take it to the highest level and occupy the pride of place in the Committee of Tertiary Hospitals in the country. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, expresses the commitment of his administration while receiving interim findings by the management board of Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports.
Of a state, the more effective the workforce. Good health means not only the absence of disease in the body, but complete physical, mental, and social well-being. This is the reason why the current administration in Ogun State placed high premium on qualitative health care of its citizens, considering it as valuable and precious. Few months after the inauguration of the management board of Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, an interim finding and report was presented to the governor, with which he was well pleased.
I have reassured the board that they have the full support of this administration so they can achieve their set objectives. From the report that they've shared with me, which is interim, the board is determined to ensure that the hospital becomes more efficient, that the hospital is more effective. And that means a lot. It means that they will ensure that there's value, that the hospital derives value from every kobo spent in the hospital.
He assured the board of the support and commitment of the current administration for effective and efficient service delivery in the hospital.
And they also are looking at how to provide for a more comfortable environment that has a more befitting ambience for both patients and their families when they're being looked after.
The Commissioner for Health in the state, Dr. Tomi Koka, explained clearly the reforms that will be carried out at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital.
His Excellency has actually committed to some immediate actions, which would be the painting and refurbishment of the in- and outpatient areas of the hospital, the replacement of all the beds in the hospital, refurbishing and renovating of the theatre area and the accident and emergency, which are the urgent needs of the hospital at the moment. We also are digitalizing our hospital records, electronic hospital records, so that would be extended to Olabisi Onabanjo to ensure that data capturing and management is a lot easier for them. That would also inform future developments around the services provided by the hospital in the future.
OUTH is a frontline tertiary hospital in the country, and the current administration is poised to make the hospital second to none in health care delivery. Tunde Olaniro, OGTV News.
And so talking health. As part of efforts to improve the health indices of citizens, as well as put an end to maternal death and other health emergencies, Ogun State government has distributed 22 tricycle ambulances to primary health centers across the state. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, at the distribution ceremony held at the Obas Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta, noted that government had identified that about 70% of deaths of women during childbirth occur as a result of lack of access to intervention, which usually arise due to lack of transportation and access from primary health centers to general hospitals. She said the introduction of the tricycle ambulances will put an end to future occurrences.
I took the innovative idea of introducing these tricycles, particularly for the rural areas where there is difficulty with road access. These tricycles will serve both to transport healthcare workers to the point of need of their services, and also to transfer the women and children, citizens of the state that need to be urgent transportation from a primary healthcare center to the general hospital.
Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Mr. Olaoluwa Olabinton, who was also at the event, noted that health was one of the 3 thematic areas of the Sustainable Development Goals. He added that the distribution of the ambulances was facilitated principally by the state government with the support of development partners in the health sector through the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDG to address the issue of access to secondary health intervention, emphasizing that it was the best possible solution to medical health emergencies, especially in the rural areas. In his remark, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftain's Affairs, Honorable Afolabi Afuakwe, said the introduction of the tricycle ambulances was a good step in the right direction. On his part, Commissioner for Finance and Chief Economic Advisor to the state government, Mr. Dapo Okubadejo, emphasized that the event was to complement the efforts of the current administration aimed at providing qualitative health for all in the state. The Ogun State government has said that the implementation of the universal health coverage, which is no longer a luxury but a necessity, will ensure that people do not pay out of the pocket to treat common ailments. This was disclosed by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, during the opening ceremony of the validation workshop on the operational guidelines and benefit package of the scheme held in Ijebode. Koka said that the process, which started with the enrollment of the vulnerable into the Basic Health Provision Fund, will further focus on the formal and informal sectors in the state. She said the 3-day workshop was aimed at developing the operational guidelines and validate the benefit for the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency, which is responsible for managing the process. Describing the package as a viable one, the Commissioner said that minimum benefits the scheme will deliver include the treatment of malaria, hypertension, diabetes, tuberculosis, and sickle cell, among others.
Vision is to actually ensure universal health coverage for the citizens and the residents of Ogun State. And to achieve that and to hold ourselves accountable, we have to have set rules, which is what we're here today with stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, to try and forge a document that will give us the guideline as to how we operate as an agency, as an insurance agency. And secondly, to agree what health package we will be delivering to our people.
The Commissioner called on all stakeholders to key into the benefits of the universal health coverage and health insurance scheme, noting that health cannot be funded by government alone. She said that the scheme will be formally launched in the state in a few weeks, just as she pointed out that enrollment of people will begin soon across the state. The special COVID-19 task force set up by the Ogun State government to enforce strict observance of coronavirus protocols, most especially the use of face masks, has continued its work for the third day running. The team is again back at the government secretariat of Kemoson, Abeokuta. Bumi Adigun, who has been covering the level of enforcement, reports that compliance is improving, but many are still not using the face mask. His report.
The advocacy seems unabated as more violators of the COVID-19 protocols, particularly on the use of face masks, were caught by the long hand of the special task force saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that all measures to flatten the curve are observed.
If we can still get a staff after we have issued internal circular by the end of service, it's not encouraging at all. Because if His Excellency can go on here and it's encouraging every one of us for our own benefit, that we should use it. We are expected to be an ambassador. We are the ones that are expected to be telling other people the danger and the risks.
Today's exercise is mild, as mobile court was not on the ground, though arrests were made and necessary sensitization dished out, but the task force gave out free masks. This is the second visit to the governor's office, but despite prayer warnings from the office of the head of service, as well as enforcement drive by the special task force, some are still adamant. Dr. Tony Taiwo, a member of the task force in the forefront of the enforcement, he has in the first week led the team to 2 senatorial districts, with Ogun West as next port of call.
Some people do not know the importance of why they have to cover their nose. A lot of them are only covering their mouth. And the virus can't go out through the mouth, through droplets. But the entering point to your body is through the nose. So it is more important that once you cover your mouth, you also cover your nose.
Since most civil and public workers are yet to comply, the task force is set to begin office-to-office enforcement, and the punishment may be severe.
And we know that very, very soon that everything will return back to normal. We realize people are going through a lot of things, particularly economic-wise, but notwithstanding, we need to make sure that we do the needful to curb the spread and to flatten the curve in Ogun State. So my advice for everybody is that don't think we're just going to start and stop. We are sustaining this practice because it has been issued by His Excellency, Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun MFR, and we are going to make sure that we domesticate it in all the 20 local governments.
The use of face mask is one of the many ways to protect anyone from contracting coronavirus, which has entered its second wave. It will be good for all if everyone observe this. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The monthly Ogun State Environmental Sanitation Exercise for the month of February will hold on Saturday, 27th February 2021, from 7 to 10 in the morning. According to a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment, Engineer Razak Ojetola, due to the daily routine sanitation by residents in their houses and premises, there will be no restriction of movement for the exercise in all the 20 local government areas of the state. Residents are, however, enjoined to use the period of the exercise to consolidate on the sanitation of the premises and surroundings so as to have a cleaner and healthier environment. In Slahat, global condemnation trails abduction of over 300 students of Gabon's Girls Secondary School, Jangebe, Zamfara State. Join us for details after this timeout. You're still watching OGTV News. The Ogun State House of Assembly has expressed its readiness to partner with the state chapter of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria to ensure seamless housing delivery through the passage of relevant legislations guiding the sector. The Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, gave the assurance while hosting the leadership of the association, led by its chairman, Okusoya Oyebola, at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Kolawole Osho's report is presented in this package.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, has played host to the state chapter of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, led by its chairman, Oyebola Okunsoya, to ensure seamless public-private sector partnership. Honorable Oluomo, receiving the visitors, noted that stakeholders in the sector must put in place strategies to further enhance the integrity and reputation of the property industry with a view to encouraging increased housing delivery for the benefits of residents who desired quality housing facilities in their choice areas. According to him, the legislations will ensure quality regulation and seamless operations that will in turn contribute to the growth of the sector, assuring that the legislative arm remained open for any development initiatives from the people without sacrificing the need to promote orderly environment in the state.
I believe the bill you refer to within the trick. We are looking at something like that. The one we don't pass yesterday. The one we can pass through something yesterday. That one is about urban development, regional projects, slum generation, and so on. So, if you have a complementary one, you have one and bring the production management so that to standardize the agreements and something process.
Earlier in his presentation, the chairman of the association, Oyebola Okunsoya, stated that efforts were in top gear by the association to complement the affordable housing programs of the Prince Dakbo Abiodun-led administration in the state, with the takeoff of 20,000 units of low-cost housing in each of the local government areas for the benefits of low-income earners. Similarly, the Assembly has also commended the state chapter of the Nigerian Girl Guides Association for its continued efforts at ensuring proper upbringing of girl child in their formative stages. The Speaker gave the commendation while playing host to members of the association led by the Deputy Chief Commissioner, B-Zone, Rhoda Thomas. Honorable Oluomo, in company of other lawmakers, noted that the importance of the international organization could not be underestimated, owing to its role at inculcating values and morals in female as part of extracurriculum activities of their schools to make them outstanding in their youthful age. In a presentation, the Deputy Chief Commissioner, B-Zone, said the association, which prioritized issues that affect girls and women, would continue to inculcate patriotism, hard work, discipline and selfless services, which would bring about honesty and accountability in their future endeavor, while soliciting for government support for all its programs and activities in the state.
The involvement of youth of Ogun State in aquaculture, business and fish farming has received a big boost at a 2-day training as Ikogba youth fish farmers linked to aquaculture value chains actors were adequately exposed to basic rudiments of agriculture. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, who represented the governor at the occasion, expressed his satisfaction that the youth have now been fully exposed to the modern and best way of doing the business, and what is left is for them to take full advantage of the sector. Matthew Shomi reports.
With this 2-day training and a linkage to value chain actors, the Ikogba youth fish farmers are ready and fully prepared to do the business better and contribute to the development of aquaculture business in Ogun State. It's been 2 days of training and exposure to some of the best and modern practice in aquaculture and fish farming organized by the Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture to stimulate the youth farmers to take full advantage of the value chains and expand the scope of their fish farming. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, who appreciated the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, for his support for the full engagement of youths in fish farming and for providing linkage with Obasanjo Farms Nigeria Limited, said the youth farmers have now been given the needed information and skills to do the job better.
This is the goal of agriculture in Ogun State, to link our young farmers to technology, to input, and to prosperity. This is also very good for stimulating the interest of youth in agriculture. The next line of action is to now deepen the relationship, is to make sure that the partnership works. There are also smaller versions of this. So we are also able to support the youth farmers to acquire their own. So, and then we have linked them to a sustainable source of input. So some of them will also grow in future to hold something that is bigger than this.
Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Agriculture, Honorable Tolu Bankole, said the current administration has now created more avenues for the youth to be fully engaged in agriculture with little stress. The former president, represented by the Executive Director of Obasanjo Farms Nigeria Limited, Dr. Jamiu Adeyemo, said with the reduction in cost and more efficiency that the training provides, the state will benefit immensely in profitable engagements of the youth.
The major important thing is feed. If feed is gotten right, by virtue of price and quality, you can see that there will be profitable enterprises in that particular business. People go into fishery with this kind of quality of fish with a competitive price. It means that they are going to have results.
The youth farmers gave their opinion at the end of the training.
We are used to pelleting of feed. We are not too used to the extruding machine and extruding feed like that, floating feed. We bought that directly. They take it, we get it from other states. We never knew that we have it here in Ogun State. And I think that this is an eye-opener.
I would say it is timely because it came just about the time it's like we might just be thinking of fizzling out of the business. Looking at the circumstances surrounding the costs that we have to incur in feeding. But with this training, we have been exposed to so many things.
The facilities at the Obasanjo Farms Nigeria Limited were then told to have a feel of the production process in the feed mill. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
And there is need for engineers to always update their knowledge to be relevant in the ever-competitive global practices. The General Manager of Ogun State Television, Abeokuta, Mr. Festus Kaindi, stated this while receiving the delegation of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. The visit is to intimate the OGTV management on the activities lined up for this year's edition of the World Engineering Day, slated for March 4.
But I used to tell the engineer that you are like a sharp cutlass. You cannot cut grass or even do on your own. Except you use men like us who now make use of your product to achieve the determined reason why it was produced in the first instance. So we rely heavily on the engineers here. And this, they help us be on there and interrupted. That's what we do.
Leading the delegation, NSE Chairman Mr. Kolawole Olonode, who commended OGTV for the support so far enjoyed by the society, then solicited for more collaboration between the society and OGTV.
We recognize the importance of media because people need to know what engineers need to do and what engineers can do in making our society better. We make bold to say that apart from those things that are created by God, I don't see anything in existence that is not a product of engineering. One can better imagine this station if there are no engineers and there are no engineering products.
The theme of the second edition of the World Engineering Day is Engineering for a Healthy Planet. The Association of Nigerian Authors, Ogun State Chapter, in collaboration with Abeokuta Club, will on Saturday, 27th of February 2021, hold an Ogun Award lecture, luncheon, investiture, and Ogun State public presentation of the Chronicles of the Happiest People on Earth by Professor Wale Soyinka. The event is scheduled to take place at the Millennium Hall, Abeokuta Club Presidential Boulevard, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Chairman of the occasion is the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo. Guest of honor is Chief Olatunde Abudu, while the keynote speaker is Professor Felix Kolawole Salako, the Vice Chancellor of FUNAB. The chief guest of honor is the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. In compliance with COVID-19 protocols, guests are advised on the use of face mask. To security issues, suspected armed bandits have kidnapped 317 students at Government Girls Secondary College, Jangebe, in Talata Mafara local government area of Zamfara State. The State Commissioner for Information, Sulaiman Tuna Anka, who confirmed the incident, said the gunmen stormed the school around 1 in the morning on Friday and abducted the student. Meanwhile, operatives of Operation Adarindaji are currently in pursuit of the abducted student with a view to ensure their safe release. State Commissioner of Police Abutu Yaro, who disclosed this while on assessment visit to the schools, said the joint security team, which included the Commander Operations Adarindaji, Major General Aminu Bande, and the Brigade Commander, 1 Brigade, Nigerian Army Headquarters, Gusau, as well as some officials of the state government, have led a heavily armed reinforcement team to Jangebe to complement the ongoing rescue operation in the locations where the students are believed to have been taken to.
Pursuit of the bandits, and the direction they have taken is known. So, with time, new developments may arise coming from these efforts, and then we'll keep you posted.
Okay. How many students were actually kidnapped?
From the principal, 370 students. Girls.
Report says that the school has been closed following the ugly incident. Some residents of the community said the abductors forced their way into the school premises through the main gate, which has one security guard who ran away on sighting them. They added that the abductors earlier had an encounter with some security personnel where they exchanged gunfire. A student who escaped the incident after hiding in a toilet told reporters that the abductors stormed the school around 1 in the morning and broke into the hostel while they forced them out. Meanwhile, global rights groups Amnesty International has condemned the strings of abductions of students in schools in the northern part of Nigeria. This was after over 300 schoolgirls were abducted from Government Girls Secondary School in the Talata Mafra local government area of Zamfara State. The abduction, which happened in the early hours of Friday, was carried out by suspected bandits who stormed the school in Hilux vehicles and motorcycles. The attack happened just days after some students and staff of Government Science College, Kagara in Rafi local government of Niger State, were abducted by bandits who are yet to set them free. And still talking security, police in Zamfara has said that, following suggestions made by farmers and herders, the Commissioner for Police Delta State, Muhammad Ali, has banned night grazing and underage cattle rearers with a view to addressing the security challenge. CP Ali stated this on Friday at a crucial interactive meeting with farmers and herders in Asaba, the Delta State capital. It was also agreed at the meeting that statistics of cows that enter the state should be taken and all herdsmen should have an identity card. CP Ali urged herdsmen that live and stay in the state to be differentiated from herdsmen that come from neighboring states, advising them to stop taking the cows to people's farms. The police commissioner said that as much as the cattle are important to the herders, farm products are also important to farmers. He said the command will not tolerate anybody bearing AK-47 rifles in the name of cattle rearing. We now move to Glimpses. Our special focus is on foremost Nigerian filmmaker, storyteller, and a director who specializes in producing movies that promotes Nigeria's rich cultural heritage with opportunities for documentation, archiving, education, entertainment, and promotion of culture. Tunde Kilani's name surely rings a bell in this regard. Uncle TK, as he is fondly called, is 73 years today, February 26, 2021. We celebrate him on Glimpses.